How's it, guys? I thought today I'm gonna show you guys how I do incursions with my fleet. I'm running as a guardian today, and we've got quite a nice fleet going here. I think we've got a few Vindies on grid. We've got a nightmare. This is actually the second session, so we went for 1 hour, and after that we obviously took a bit of a break, and then now this is the second session. But in the very first room of the first session, the nightmares were supposed to capture each other. There were two nightmares, and the one guy unfortunately didn't have his safety set to green, and by accident pressed his lasers, and he shot his his cap chain buddy, and Concord consequently came in and popped him. So we had to continue with just one nightmare, but it went quite well. I think we were running 6 to 7 minute fleets, or 6 to 7 minute sites, so the DPS was actually quite nice. So you'll notice that, like I said, I'm a guardian in this one, and I've got a cap chain guardian. So we are two guardians, and I think there were three Onirios. However you say that one. So we were actually way um, too many remote repairers, but uh, it doesn't really matter as long as there's enough guys to keep everyone on grid alive. So this is basically just an example for those of you guys who've never done incursions. This is how it goes. I think the value of my guardian is like 350 million. That's rigs, that's the whole ship, so it's not that expensive. And I think the most expensive ship on grid would be the Vindicators, and even those are under a billion per Vindy. If you look at the watch list that I've got set up, you'll notice that I've got uh, three guys colored green. Those are also all Logi, and then I've got one guy in orange/yellow. That would be the FC. So I've got one dark blue/purplish person. That would be the sniper. And then I've got a bunch of light blues. Those would be the close range DPS. And then I've got two neutral colored guys. For some of the sites we ran, you need to drop some specific ore into a can, and that would complete the site. So those would be those two guys would typically drop the ore. So as you can see, it's relatively easy. You keep your fleet window open and you keep it on the history tab. Whenever someone starts taking damage, they basically broadcast, and you can just control left click on that person's name, and it will automatically select that person, and you can just enable one of your remote reps, and it's as simple as that. I don't think there's really much else to say about it. We run an armor fleet, obviously, and I've got level 1 maintenance bots, so I like to normally just put my maintenance bots on my cap buddy, just in case he gets some alpha damage. And that's it. The FC tags all the numbers, and the DPS ships makes all those numbers disappear. I don't think there's really anything much to it. Oh, obviously if you are flying a Guardian or Cruiser, a remote rep or logi, you would typically always orbit something with your afterburner on, and that's just because the more you move, the more difficult it is for any of the ships in the incursion to hit you, and these guys back a mean punch. I think our normal payout per incursion is about, I think, 8.4 or 9 million. I don't know. We'll see at the end of this incursion. We basically did quite a few. I'm just going to show you the very first one. It's not really eventful. Then I will skip to the end where I basically show the wallet, and you can see how much money and what's the frequency in which we made the money. But yeah, that's Incursions in a nutshell as a logi pilot. Basically check your history tab of your fleet window, and if someone broadcast, you'll see how my armor reps are running at the moment. I try and stagger them so that every half cycle, if that makes sense to you, every half cycle the guy gets reps, because remember on armor reps you only get at the end of the rep cycle. So yeah, I've ran out of words. And there's in some of these incursions they like to split damage. So when damage is split, that's basically why you've got 4 reps or remote reps, is so that you can keep 2 per person that's taking damage. I've only got logistics cruisers up to level 4, that's why I've got 2 remote cap transfers, and that's basically the same for the guy that I'm cap transferring to. He also has logistic cruisers 4. And there we go, site's done. We should get payouts anytime now. There you go. And that's basically an incursion. Run sites, complete them, get a few bar, and I think it's about, that one was just over 7 minutes, or about 7 minutes that we ran. So that's more than $1 million per minute. So it's not bad. Okay, so over here is basically the fit. You'll see I've got 2 large cap transmitters, 4 large armor repairer 2s, normal ABS SIBO, DC2, and then just some run-of-the-mill stuff. The only expensive thing basically there is the Imperial Navy 800mm steel plates, and that's the fit. In terms of payouts, you can see there's the frequency, the amount of payouts, and keep in mind all of those payouts were after corp taxes. So incursions in general, I would say, is very profitable. You need about 12, 14 people give or take to run them, and 4 to 5 logi, bunch of DPS, maybe 2 snipers, and Bob's your uncle. Anyway guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see if I can bring something different every now and again that I do in EVE, and hopefully you guys can learn something, or drop something in the comments for me to learn something. I'm always open for new stuff. Anyway, cheers, keep well.